Welcome. These will be my thoughts on Hitmonkey Season 1, Episode 10, The End, Part 2. The episode is rated TVMA, so will this video be? There will be spoilers for these first 10 episodes, and another episode I love, like all the ones preceding it. And yeah, let's dive right in. Gonna try to keep this more or less chronological. So I really appreciate it. There at the start, they complete the first half of the Prison Break special, which is, of course, to set up a scenario where we, the viewer, feel like there's basically no way that they're going to come out on top of this. But we're invested, so we keep watching. And yeah, I would say by the end of the episode, it had delivered on the second part, the second half of the Prison Break special, which is, of course, to somehow convince us, no, that actually would work, based on the rules set up previously. And yeah, I love that, like, Bryce, he wants to be supportive still, but, like, this is a really fucked up situation, so he's not great at, like, we know he's been too honest for his own good since we first met him at the start of season 1, episode 1, this season opener, like, he almost gives away that he's a hitman. But I mean, he makes a clever little joke, and the person standing there is just like, listen, just say this is a one-word answered question. Please, just there's a lot of people behind you in line. But yeah, yeah. So he spells out to Monkey just how fucked up this situation is, instead of hyping him. But then he does say, you know what was it like? You got calluses. You can do this. And yeah, and the thing about, like, well, I mean, if you kill him, that's kind of her family. I mean, and I think that brings us nicely to the yeah, oh my god, Bryce. So yeah, Monkey obviously can't go very close, but it's been demonstrated the only person who can, hardly anyone can see Bryce. Like, the monk could, and Yuki can. So Bryce can indeed get Yuki, and he does the bright thing. He's talking way too fucking much. Like, dude, she doesn't like you. She hates your guts. Your whatever the ghost equivalent of guts is, your ectoplasm, I guess. Get to the fucking point already, because as soon as he mentions Monkey, she's like, oh yeah, he's cool. Should have led with that. And meanwhile, like, her eyes are like, she's about to fucking annihilate him. There's a saying, if looks could kill. I think that's what we were about to see there, if he hadn't finally gotten to the fucking point. And then yeah, okay, get Haruka over here, and yeah, so Haruka, and the I can't put into words how much I love that this scene. So once Haruka joins them, Monkey talks to Bryce, who talks to Yuki, who talks to Haruka, so that Monkey can be translated to her. And then by the end of the scene, she's like, how do you speak Monkey anyway? Oh, I don't. I'm talking to the other ghost. Just and then, near the end of the episode, there's another ghost. Neat. And the let's see. I did wonder, once she said, there is another. Well, yeah, once she realized there's another ghost, he said, there is, and he's a handsome devil. I did wonder if they were gonna have Yuki say, there is, and he thinks way too highly of his own appearance, or something like that. But yeah, and it's fine that they didn't. And then oh my god, to try to get Monkey in there, genuinely really clever. So yeah, the rice cake wagon, and yeah, Haruka as a cop, she goes, listen, this is for the people inside, okay? And the guy is like, he couldn't be more fucking obvious about it. Like I don't know exactly what they did, but it was probably smart to talk him out of, holding up a giant neon sign that said, I am doing something I shouldn't. Because like he's going around, he's going like, he's looking down, just the whole like, oh my god. And then when, no one notices, but Silver Samurai at first seems to, and we're like, well, of course someone was bound to. But then he's just like, I want food. I have a job. I have to serve the people in that. Kudos to this guy. Like, this guy would be great at improv because that's genuinely, yeah, that, I mean, obviously doesn't end up working. Silver Samurai doesn't accept it. But that was a pretty decent attempt at an explanation for why he can't, rather than just like freezing up entirely or something. But yeah, and he's like, your job is to feed the Silver Samurai. Jesus Christ. And yeah, so he tries tearing at the cart, and then Monkey falls out, and Monkey, not being the best at understanding human contexts, tries dancing because you never know, right? It worked at the casino. And yeah, just, oh my god. So Yuki and Silver Samurai fight, and he starts fucking teleporting and throwing his sword and teleporting, and the oh my god, and the Cobra shows up, and I love that he uses, like, oh my god, Silver Samurai's masculinity is so fucking fragile. He's like, hey, are you wearing a skirt? I'm obviously wearing pants. And yeah, Cobra's like, all too easy. And yeah, the fastball special, I do appreciate these, I suppose possibly there are more than occasional. It's just that occasionally I actually fucking know one of these references. But yeah, that's an X-Men reference. And let's see, the yeah, so Cobra tosses Monkey. Just gonna real quick see. Okay, yeah, that's something that can wait. Yeah, tosses Monkey, and I have to admit, I forgot, maybe I should have, but I didn't realize that they were gonna subvert expectations and have a joke there, but that is genuinely funny because it looked like Monkey was just barely going to make it onto that what are those called, window washing platforms, but and the fucked up thing is there were actually supposed to be more, but Daredevil, Ben Affleck Daredevil took a night on the town, and the yeah, so he starts falling down, and the yeah, oh my god, the incredibly lucky that Yuki, grabs him under the arms, starts flying. She lifts him up where he belongs. And the let's see. I think that pretty much gets us to the part where yeah, so they get inside the building. And yeah, the thing about the elevator, like, that's either a great or horrible sign. Right, I wanted to briefly note. So yeah, we have the bit with it's somewhere around here. We have the yeah. So the Takei character, who I am gonna miss because he's obviously not. I don't know. I guess it's not impossible he'll be a ghost in the second season, but I don't think so. But yeah, he's like, the monkey's definitely coming to kill me, which, like, that is, that is of course a realization we all make at some point in our lives. And meanwhile, Akiko is like, what are you talking about? The monkey doesn't kill good people. She, and it's a good bit of setup, and by the end payoff, because, like, yeah, she thinks the monkey killed someone it shouldn't have and wants revenge. But the yeah, and then Lady Bullseye shows up, and, you know, yeah, talks to them about, no, don't worry, you're bait. I'll protect you. And, you know, as soon as Monkey is dead, no one knows, Lady Bullseye is not going to give away the secret. And I think that pretty much, yeah, so, you know, in the elevator, you know, as soon as the elevator doors open, she starts throwing shit at them, and, or at first just Monkey specifically. But yeah, you know, very, very clever with the, what's the word? The fact we just see, like, stuff hit Monkey, and pun not intended, I swear. And that one time, then you know, it gets like there's some wounding going on. It also gets like nailed to the wall of the, yeah. And I think that's when, yeah, and Haruka manages to get up there and shoots at her, you know, or was gonna, something like that, you know, but gets injured herself, and then Monkey is gone. Fantastic bit of the, you know, what's the word? The fight, yeah, that the hide and seek match essentially, you know, and of course, you know, because she talked to the monk, she knows about the fucking salt, so she starts salt shakering Bryce and giving him some physical form. And yeah, that was, oh my god, that fucking hurt. And then at one point, like, he throws some of the salt back in her eyes. It's like, oh, that's gotta hurt so fucking much. Think about how fucking sensitive eyes are, and like salt, it burns like a motherfucker if you get it in just like a fucking paper cut or something. And, oh, the eyeballs, goddamn. And then that's when we have the let's see. Yeah, a monkey throws some stuff at her, and, you know, yeah, just really, really cool. And ultimately, now that he has enough physical form, he starts fighting with her. And I love, she's still making the same mistake. You know, Monk tried to convince her otherwise. She didn't learn. She still talks too much and does not pay close enough attention to her surroundings. You know, she, like, the way she attacked Monk was too showy, you know, and here she's acting like there's only those two, you know, it's only Monkey and Bryce. You didn't make sure that shit, I forgot how you pronounce her name. I'm sorry, the rookie, you know, yeah, how, you know, Lady Bullseye did not check to make sure that, you know, you gotta pull over the car, confirm the kill. And the let's see, right, also really love the way that they did the bit where where Monkey falls out of the rice cart, and we just see all the people nearby who are dangerous in this situation. Yeah, that was great. And yeah, the thing, you know, you always were a second rate, you know, and oh my god, he's talking about like, oh, you know, you hit on me. I mean, he is a hit man, but seriously though, don't, you know, if you're not sure that someone is interested, don't, like, or at the very least, no, like, genuinely don't flirt with someone who seems to just not be interested, you know. But yeah, like, it sounds like you came out on top in that situation. I guess she's just like rubbing his face in it, basically. The let's see, the but yeah, you know, and then she says, you were always a second-rate assassin. And he's like, can't argue with you there, but I am good enough to be a functional distraction. And yeah, that was really cool seeing Haruka take out Lady Bullseye. And of course, then we have the big confrontation. It was also really cool with all the fucking fire there at the top, and, you know, got a helicopter. And also, as they're fighting, you know, it's the four of them, I guess, total are fighting inside the building. It's like, you know, there's this like helicopter flying outside, and it's like nighttime. I guess maybe either Patrick Bateman or a Terminator fought someone nearby, and possibly a cop. And Monkey gets up there, and then, Bryce and Haruka manage to talk him out of shooting. And, it is a good point, like, there should be a trial, but of course, he tries to shoot Haruka, and, she made a rookie mistake. Fitting. Not watching her gun well enough. Someone should have shown her Requiem for a Dream. And that's when we have so Monkey shoots the Takei character. I'm really gonna miss him. Yeah. I mean, I think I have already said it in at least one video on this. I don't know if anyone needs to hear the words, George Takei is an amazing actor, but there you go. Like, just absolutely incredible every step of the way. And I also just, like, the fact that this, like, I don't know if he knew that they were going to pull this twist, but this feels consistent with his character, with his performance up to this point, because, like, yeah, we kind of assumed that he wouldn't have killed Ken, but, yeah, and he's trying to confess because he genuinely does feel terrible. And Akiko just won't hear it. And she doesn't notice the gun in his hand, or maybe it doesn't matter to her. Haruka certainly does. And, Akiko understandably upset. And, it was really fortunate that, Monkey got away from there. Yeah. I think that pretty much brings us to, so there at the end, there's the burial, and oh my god, he ejects the clip, and there's the picture from the flashback, and oh my god, so he's been carrying that this whole time, all along. God damn. And Monkey, keeps the photo. And right, also love that so I wasn't completely right about the details, but I was right that it wasn't about killing there's that thing about, like, destroy the seed of evil or something like that. It's that Bryce was supposed to do the right thing. And and then as he's floating away, he's like saying goodbye and thank you. I'm so glad we to have met you. Oh, and hydrate, drink water. And I think that pretty much does bring us that. So there at the end, we have the burial, and then the Haruka manages to sneak Monkey past by flashing the badge, and so they don't look inside the bag, and Monkey can get away, even though the entire fucking country of Japan is looking for fucking Prime Minister killer in the show. God damn. And let's see. And I can also imagine, like, that is in the second season, I'm not sure it's only gonna be Akiko trying to kill Monkey. I could imagine there's a ridiculous bounty on him for this. And that does bring us, and it does sound like maybe I don't know if the second season is gonna be America-centric, like a lot of American media is, or international, but certainly it doesn't really sound like it's going to be, specifically, like, this season is almost exclusively Tokyo and nearby, I don't think, do we see a single scene outside of Japan that isn't flashback? Not that I can offhand recall, at least. So that's a good way to distinguish the two seasons from each other, if that is indeed what they do. But yeah, and the thing with, unzipping it and being like, don't worry, I will clear your name. So that's a really compelling, Oh, wait, shit, does that mean she... No, because she got on the plane too. I guess she's going to clear Monkey's name from America, or are they just? I'm not entirely sure. I hope she's in the second season, but I guess possibly she'll like call with updates every so often, maybe, but I'll find out in some months' time. Anyway, right, next is back to, in not terribly many days, I'm back to Arrowverse. I can hardly wait. Anyway, I think that does bring us, for I forget, like 23 episodes thereabouts. And then on to the next thing. Anyway, which by then will be Walking Dead Season 7. Anyway, that is... Yeah, and now she speaks monkey, and things like, yes, I put a juice box in there. You don't have to keep reminding me. And and so monkey's on the plane inside the baggage area, and I was just sitting there thinking, I'm really gonna miss Bryce, but I guess maybe Haruka's gonna take the buddy role, like so far this is a very much a buddy comedy kind of setup in part. But then he pops back up and explains, that hell is like there's that saying, you go to heaven for the company and hell for... No, wait, shit. Heaven for the climate and hell for the company. Hell is where all the cool people are. And, yeah, it is... Yeah, he went there and he's like, oh, this place is so fucking cool. Ah, oh, god damn it. Where are the dinosaurs? Did Jesus break in and steal the... Jesus broke in and stole the goddamn dinosaurs. Fuck. It's going to be the best part. I also really like the part early in the episode where he says, I'll go to wherever the hell I deserve to be. Yeah, I mean, he suffers no delusions. And but yeah, and then he says he didn't read the Faustian deal, but, what could the devil possibly do to have power over someone who's dead? And, yeah, that's also, oh my god, are they gonna fucking have like a demon trying to bring Bryce back after he violates a detail of the arrangement or something? Is fucking Ghost Rider gonna pop? Oh wait, shit, not Ghost Rider, I guess. Whatever. Moving on. But yeah, and now, he can use telekinesis because he learned from Yuki. But he can't quite aim it 100% yet. And yeah, I think that's going to be a very fun element of season 2, him trying to use telekinesis to help. And yeah. And let's see, I think that does bring us... Yeah, so genuinely such a chilling reveal there at the end. Akiko is becoming Lady Bullseye. And it's this thing of like, they can really do something incredible with that. One of the things is, we already know she's not already at the skill level. Like she's not even, usually that violent of a person or anything, but she's got determination. She is not really one to give up, so I can imagine in the, I figure there'll probably be at least a slight time skip between seasons, and then as she comes out on the other end of that, she'll have some ability, but she'll still be like practicing. So every so often she'll fuck something up, and Monkey and Bryce will, take advantage of that whole... But by the end of the season, she's maybe incredible. Like maybe she's a match for Monkey by then, and Monkey's not going to want to kill her, So I can imagine there'll be some fights that end with Monkey getting away and not taking the chance to kill her. And maybe the second season will end with Monkey killing her, realizing it's the only way to prevent her from continuing to kill. Or I guess it's not impossible they'll do a redemption, but if I had to guess right now, I think it's the former. And let's see. Yeah, that's obviously, if one of the things with, a bunch of the villains in this season, we didn't really have much of an emotional connection to. We meet them when the characters do, basically. If Lady Bullseye is going to be a significant presence in the second season, and it's Akiko throughout, like, that's going to be really powerful. And, right, we also do see near the end, Cobra was put in prison. Anyway, and Yuki flies, yeah, it is no longer, she is not needed for right now. And, yeah, and the thing, I will fight alongside Monkey, should he call. Well, ring ring. Jesus Christ, Boris. Also, yeah, what did you say? Jesus Crispus? I forget what exactly. He pronounced it funny. Anyway, I think that is just about the, let's see. Yeah, Bryce says, they're going to go to New York, put the, fear of Ghost in his old agent, but then she's going to hire Hitmonkey, and they're going to go around killing assholes, in the show. So that does sound like a very cool setup, and I do think, because, yeah, by the end of the season, by the end of this episode, this season, everyone who was significant in this conspiracy is indeed dead. So, and I do think that is a good way to, I think I did maybe theorize that in an earlier video. I swear I haven't watched past the one I'm talking about in any given video. Anyway, the yeah. So I think they can really do something cool with that, because yeah, it is this thing of, like, at the start of the episode we were hoping that somehow, against all hope, maybe Monkey could end up living with Akiko. Like in the episode before this one, Bryce said, oh, you could be like their, the monkey of the prime minister. But now that's obviously not going to happen. We already know he can't go back to monkeydom. So yeah, what else then, become a proper hit monkey now? And I think they can do something really, really cool with that. And they're changing scenery, some new supporting characters. There's a lot they can. I'm really looking forward to the second season. And yeah, I think that does cover everything. So the right, I did want to briefly note. So yeah, before Haruko, we see that she has quite a ways to go. She goes in at the bottom of the building, and thankfully later we do see she did get all the way up there. But for a while, I was perhaps a tiny bit worried, because she looks at all the steps she's gonna have to take to get all the way up there, and stairs in this case should only be a noun, not also a verb.